Yes, guys. Let's start with our demo session. It's been already 7 minutes since we started the session. So, guys, first of all, my name is Anish Ansari. I'm having 10 plus years of experience. I started my career as a Linux administrator. So, since that, it's been long back, right? 10 years back. So, I was Linux administrator, and I seen in market that slowly market growing, and I seen that cloud is coming in market. First of all, AWS was there. Slowly, I started learning AWS, and I seen that containerization is something. So I started researching about the containerization, basically Docker, and then I figured out that uh, like you know alone Docker we cannot do anything. We need to have one of the orchestration tool. We need Kubernetes. So I started exploring Kubernetes, and luckily I was continuously getting chance to work on all those latest technology in my previous companies, wherever I used to work. So I am having real-time experience on Docker and Kubernetes. I'm certified Kubernetes administrator. I hope very soon I will be getting my CKS certification, certified Kubernetes specialist as well. And in my previous company, I just left my job. The reason is that I'm just looking for switch. So, in my previous company, previous project, I was the person who's responsible to create and manage their, infrastructure, specifically Kubernetes. Troubleshoot, like if anything is getting failed or something, application is failing or cluster is not working properly. So those kind of tasks I used to handle, and install and configure monitoring tools in Kubernetes cluster, and implementing GitOps thing, that all I'm experienced on, right? So guys, this was about me a bit, uh, and we'll be talking about course content as well. Before proceeding with course content, I just want to share one voting link here. You need to just click about your knowledge and experience on Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, let me share that link in chat window. So guys, I'm sending, I sent just one link on the chat. Just open this link and vote there. I'm just simply asking one question there, how familiar you are with the Docker and Kubernetes. This is a small question. I will be getting one idea about the audience. Mhm. I can see only 6 people voted. I need more votes here. We are around 10 people here. I'm expecting around 10 votes. Perfect, guys. So, most of the audience is beginner, right? I can share my screen and I'll show you. Um, where it is? Here we are. So most of you are beginner only in Docker and Kubernetes. We are having one of the person who is having intermediate, knowledge and experience in Kubernetes, Docker. I'm not sure. So guys, here in our training sessions, we'll be starting things from very basic, okay, from very scratch. We will be starting the thing, and slowly we will be moving forward to advanced content. Now, it comes to the content, right? What all things that we are going to cover, okay? Let me show you the course content. Mhm. Yeah, this one. So here it is, the course content, guys. We can see that some theoretical, content will be here, application development platforms, like what bare metal is, what exactly virtualization is, and then containerization. Whenever, we are talking about containerization, so we are having Docker with us, right? We will be learning about Docker, actually, what exactly Docker is, how to install Docker engine, right? On EC2 instance, on VirtualBox machine, right? So the prerequisite of this course is you should have a free tier AWS account, and it's better to have a VirtualBox. It's a free software, 100% free software. I will be guiding you to download and install operating system in it, and then Docker installation configuration. Each and everything I will be telling you about this here. Okay. After that, basic introduction of Docker engine, right? What exactly architecture that Docker follows, what is the architecture of Docker, right? UFS, we'll be talking about Union File System, what exactly UFS is, and how your OS component, basically Docker is operating system level virtualization. So how namespaces and C groups are helping us interview related question, basically, right? And then image and container management here, that we'll be learning about image layers, what exactly layering is in Docker images, right? What all registries do we have to store our Docker images, just to share image with your colleagues or take image to your different environment, production dev or QA whichever, whatever it is. And Docker networking is the something that we will be talking about here, what type of network is available in Docker, correct? What type of networks are available in Docker, that we'll be looking into it, and how to enable communication in between multiple container. Let's say front end is running in one container and back end is running in one container. So how we will be, um, you know, enabling communication between them, right? What is the use of host network, bridge network, null and overlay, that we'll be talking about, right? And Docker storage, what type of a storage we are having in Docker, why to use it, by the way. This is storage option in Docker. So basically, guys, what happens is whenever we are creating containers, so containers are ephemeral. Okay. Once container got deleted, you cannot recover the container and its data. Once it is deleted, means it's gone. It cannot be coming back again, right? Whatever data that you used to have inside the container, that's been gone, right? So how, sorry. So how we can make our data persistent on the server while using Docker? Then these things comes into the picture, Docker storage thing, Docker volume, basically here it is, right? Why it is acting like this way? Hmm. Docker storage, what type of volumes we are having, bind mount, volume mount, temp fs, right? When to use it, how to perform secure transactions that should not have any footprint left on your host machine somewhere, right? So use temp fs. And backing up and restore the container, okay, images, those things we'll be talking about. And building the custom image by writing Docker file. So guys, here something like, let's say we are having some of the running container and we want to convert them into Docker images. You can do that one thing. We are having one option. The best way and suggested way is, write the Docker file to customize the image, okay, to create custom images. So guys, we will be talking about that one as well. What all type of registries we are having here? So we will be talking about Docker registries, Docker Hub and GitHub GitLab registries to store your Docker images over there, right? This option is securing Docker images, EC2 security group, port, firewall. These things we'll be talking about. Docker Compose we'll be talking about, and then finally we will be talking about Docker Swarm. Okay, what is exactly Docker Swarm is, how we can, give me a second, guys. Yes, sorry. So, what exactly Docker Compose is, Docker Swarm is, and Docker Stack is, that we'll be talking about under this topic, right? How we can manage multiple containers replica by using Docker Swarm. What all drawbacks Docker Swarm is having, why people are preferring, why companies are preferring to go with Kubernetes. No any company these days is using Docker Swarm, nobody. No any company is using Docker Swarm. It's totally useless because of its feature and functionality. It is having very, very less feature functionality as compared to Kubernetes. Everybody is just going and working on Kubernetes. All the projects or companies are adopting Kubernetes only because it's having lots of features and lots of third-party tools supported by it, right? We will be talking about YAML and its core concept. The reason is, in Kubernetes, YAML is important. It's a prerequisite basically. You should already know about YAML. It's not a big thing. YAML is not a big thing. 10 to 15 minutes session is enough to discuss or to teach you about YAML, what exactly it is, how to use it. That I will be doing that. You don't need to bother about that. If you already know YAML, that's really a plus point. And after that, finally, we will be jumping to Kubernetes, right? In Kubernetes, we'll be learning about its architecture and its core component. What all core component we are having here in Kubernetes, that we'll be talking about, right? Components like Kube API, controller manager, and scheduler. This is network plugin, Flannel, Clarico, VNet, something, etcd, kubelet, kubeproxy. This will be discussing about it, right? And finally, deployment using Minikube. Guys, few things I updated here. I removed Minikube. Okay, I removed Minikube. Instead of Minikube, I implemented a kind. Kind is something new, alternative of Minikube, will be helping you to create lightweight Kubernetes cluster on a single machine, even on your Docker desktop, right? And we will be creating a different type of Kubernetes cluster. KubeADM is the one. Okay, what is this KubeADM cluster? It is like most of the time it is used on a bare metals. Okay, it is used on bare metal servers, on premises server, and most of the time your interview question or interviewer will be running around QADM only. They will not be going to ask you about kind or minikube or something, AKS or EKS. They will not be going until unless they are having requirement. If they are posting requirement in their JD, then definitely they will be going for EKS and all those things, right? And I will be having one more interesting discussion here itself, right? Let me show you something, guys. Okay, so basically, most of the time people are worried, we are learning the Kubernetes, and we are having lots of type of Kubernetes variant because of cloud provider like EKS. What is this EKS? Okay. Elastic Kubernetes service, right? And another one is GKE. What is that GKE? Google uh, Kubernetes, Google Kubernetes engine. Another one is AKS. This people are like this buzz. Azure Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes service. Okay, and we are having few more clouds, right? Right, guys. I'm not going to discuss about them like IBM Cloud, Oracle, Alibaba. There are many, these all clouds are having their own Kubernetes service. But the funda here is whenever you are talking about these cloud Kubernetes, all these three. So basically, what happens is only one thing is getting changed. Cluster creation method is getting changed. Rest of the thing, that whatever we are going to learn here in the course content, that will be 100% same. All the object like your pod, your replication controller, replica set, deployment, rolling update strategies, and like secret config map, somehow rollback can be changed. I implemented this all thing, this RBAC in all those environment, EKS, GKE, and AKS. So only RBAC is taking a bit changed because we need to create users in your cloud accounts. Here in KubeADM, we will be creating users in Linux. So small thing is getting changed, implementation of RBAC and cluster creation. Rest of the thing will 100% same. Okay, guys. After that, you don't need to bother at all. If your environment is using this cloud or that cloud, no. You need to know only the thing that I know Kubernetes, and I know it's all the objects like pod and whatever I just discussed here, right? Stateful set, deployment, right? This is the thing. So one more thing, this is the main difference about all the cloud thing. You will be getting the same, each and everything. Only two things will be different: cluster creation and RBAC a bit. RBAC is like 5 to 10% will be varying. Rest of the thing will be 100% same. Now, you are going with my Kubernetes, course content. What all things you will be getting? Why to go with this Kubernetes content, that whatever I am having here. Later on, I'll tell you after completion of this, content. So see here, we will be learning about two, three type of cluster creation. After that, pod object, what exactly pod is, how to create containers inside a pod, a single container in a pod, or multiple container we can keep it, right? What exactly init container is, or what is like, a static pod is, what, how to assign CPU and memory to your containers, right? And deploying application using some of the private registries like your GitHub, GitLab, something, what exactly replication controller is, how to replicate your container, how to replicate your pods, what exactly stateful set is, what exactly deployment is, when to use which one, right? Rolling update, let's say currently you deployed your application with version 1, okay, and you are planning to release another version of your application. How to perform a rolling update? If anything goes wrong, then how you will be doing roll it back, how to check your deployment history, right? How to scale manually your pods if it is running, how to implement auto scaling pod, HPA, horizontal pod auto scaler, in your deployment. What exactly daemon sets are, right? What exactly daemon sets are. So those things we will be using, when to use daemon set, correct? And what exactly stateful sets are, like when to use, why to use stateful, what is the use case of stateful set, right? And what exactly volumes are in stateful set, that we'll be talking about. What type of volumes, by the way, is available in Kubernetes, ephemeral volume, and different type of volume like empty directory, host path, NFS, EBS, right? Basically we'll be focusing on EBS side only. And yeah, this persistent volume, PVPVC, storage class, what exactly these things are, that will be discussed in our session. What type of services do we have available in Kubernetes, like node port and load balancer, cluster IP? What is the use of these services? And we'll be having use cases, when to use which one, right? We'll be implementing it practically with us, right? Secrets, config maps, how to manage, your username, passwords, right? Your configurations in Kubernetes by keeping them in centralized place and call them in different deployments, right? What exactly ingress controller is, right? How to access your application by using domain names like anish.com, visualpath.in, right? How to do that, that we will be implementing it. What exactly HPA is nothing but, just I discussed, this should be done with deployment above. So yeah. And what type of scheduling mechanism do we have, like, node name, node selector, node affinity, anti affinity, pod affinity, anti affinity, those things you'll be learning about it. Container health check, how to check your containers health, what type of health checks are available, that we'll be looking for it. Job, cron job, Calico for networking implementation, that will be looking into it. And finally, we will be starting about RBAC. This is nothing but, this section is nothing but, it's totally, it is talking about RBAC. We will be creating kube cluster, and in that kube cluster, we will be creating a user, and we will be assigning, limited permission to a particular user, to understand how role-based access works. Based on the based on your role, or your colleague's role, or user's role, assign them permissions. That will be done through RBAC. Kubernetes is having graphical dashboard with us, right? How to deploy a graphical dashboard, that we'll be looking at, right? Cluster backup creation, etcd backup, and cluster version upgradation, how to update Kubernetes version from particular version to its another version, how this upgradation works, that will be looking into it. This WordPress database, we will be implementing it already, like, during deployment or pod we'll be doing that, right? And finally is the Helm chart. What exactly Helm chart is, right? What exactly Helm chart is, how to use Helm chart, how to perform rolling update using Helm chart, how to Helmify your deployment or your YAML files. All right, that will be covered in Helm chart section. I'm trying to get here GitOps as well. How GitOps works. So yeah, that is the optional thing, but I'll be making sure that GitOps should be included. I didn't mention anything GitOps here on this course content, but it will be there, I hope. So, guys, this was the course content. Now, I just want to know that if you guys are having any question queries regarding this course content, please ask me here itself. Yep.
Yeah, Anish, Deepak here. So
Yes,
I'm
Deepak.
having two to three questions. So I'll
Sure,
just
sure, sure,
go one by one. So
sure.
let's say if we are just picking up, let's say either Docker, Kubernetes. Have this course, does this course include the live project as well, where we'll be spinning up a container, deploying a project, and running that?
Not exactly project, but scenarios will be there in your project. Let's say you want to communicate to a particular another pod, right? Front end is running in one pod and back end is running into some another pod. How this
Hmm.
communication will happening? Let's say you want to implement a network rules. Let's say I'm running with a database pod in my environment and I want to allow only specific type of pod needs to be communicated with this one. How this will happen, right?
I do understand that. Yeah, yeah. But my question is, let's say the communication of pod is one thing, but let's say if I do not know how to deploy some X application on a container, what's the benefit I'll be getting of the communication of the pods if I don't know that particular stuff?
So basically, you need to aware of like what type of application is. You'll have to start this thing from Docker thing. How you are containerizing it. What all things are required to make up and running your application. The things start from Docker itself. Topic that will be doing with Docker.
Okay, so we'll
Custom
be
Docker
let's say
installation.
deploying let's say running a project or let's say any Java project on a Docker container. Will we be doing that on that part?
We are having Apache or small website application.
Okay,
WordPress will
okay,
be
we'll be
having.
deploying that.
WordPress
Okay,
will be having. That
okay, awesome.
requires MySQL mandatorily. Without MySQL, that can't do anything. That kind of thing we are having.
Okay, so that's the part of this particular course, right?
Hmm.
Okay, okay. My second question is with respect to the timings and the timelines of this particular course. So, two questions, I'll just club them both. So,
Mhm.
the first one is what is the duration of the full course? And will the
Yeah,
core this course will be on let's say daily basis and when it will be?
daily 1 hour you have to spend here. It will
Okay,
be like I'm really not sure that this is morning or evening batch demo we are
that's fine.
conducting it for.
Mm-hmm,
That will be confirmed very soon.
mm-hmm.
I think it is evening batch only. I think if
Okay,
people are from USA, uh, for them it will be morning. People in India will be having evening. So yeah, that's the thing. And 40 hours, you can assume that 40 hours is required. Sometimes it can
okay,
be like 5 days, 5 hours might be increased or somehow
okay,
like if what happens is like if I'm not available, like somehow we are skipping the session. It will never be happen, but in some incident is happening, I'll have to travel or I have to go somewhere. So
sure.
um, that time will be increased, not more
Okay,
than
and
5 days, five
sure.
hours.
And this is Monday to Friday, right?
Monday to
Okay, okay,
Friday. And my priority is like, sometimes I'm doing it on Saturday as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Yep, that's all for mine. Thanks.
Yes, guys. Anybody else? Any question?
Hey, answer. Yeah, Hemasundar here.
Yes,
Are
sir.
we using any Terraform for the image creations here? I mean,
No
is it
Terraform. No Terraform. Because Kubernetes itself, like, if you will be looking into this course content, it's already like, 40, 45 hours, like, we'll have to run through. If we are adding Terraform here, like, I'll have to start teaching Terraform as well. To teach Terraform, what I'll have to do is I'll have to decrease the content, or I'll have to remove the few things from Docker and few things from Kubernetes. Then it will not be focused on Kubernetes course. That's the reason. It's totally majorly it is created for Kubernetes folks. This course. And yeah, I was discussing one more thing. Yeah, that's the thing, Hema.
Okay.
Anything?
If without this Terraform, I mean, how do we create this in
Manually will be creating it. Manually will be
manually?
creating it.
Manually, yeah.
Manually, yeah,
Okay,
manually will be
got it.
doing that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Raghunath. Actually, if there are 10 applications which are deploying like Java, which is
Uh-huh.
considering only the one project, we
Okay.
can do it with the same, with the help of the Kubernetes. Like we will do with the same, like Ansible. We will write in the whole playbook in all.yaml. So, can we achieve through the Kubernetes the 10 Java applications which are under the same
Uh,
project, same
Definitely.
product?
Yeah. So basically, you'll have to containerize your application first of all, and then you'll have to deploy it in Kubernetes. You can do that. Not a big thing, right?
Okay, for every application, there will be separate containers.
Container. Yes. Separate containers. If they want to
Yeah, one more
communicate,
thing.
you need to enable communication between them somehow. It needs some of dependent application running here and there container. So that's the scenario. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Okay, will it consider like creation of the like whole like infrastructure, like creation of the directories and the creation of the mount points and the application points, and as well as the log files. So will it consider all the infrastructure which we can build whole infrastructure with help of
Right.
Kubernetes?
Right. No, 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 not
Okay. And
infrastructure
one
creation. No, 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 not infrastructure creation. Kubernetes is all about application deployment, containerization thing. You cannot create infrastructure by using Kubernetes. You have to create infrastructure first, and then containerize your application, and then deploy your application in Kubernetes. So what happens is, as soon as you are deploying your application in Kubernetes, you can make it highly available. That's the thing. You cannot spin up infrastructure by using Kubernetes.
Okay. With the help of Ansible, we can create whole infrastructure, like the whole thing. Like so, with the
You
help
can
of
do that.
Kubernetes, okay, with the help of Kubernetes, we can't do it. Only the
Yeah,
application itself, we have to do it.
you yes, application deployment only.
Okay. Then how do we monitor the containers health and the condition? We can do with the help of
Sure,
Kubernetes, or do we have
sure,
another tool
definitely,
like?
definitely. In Kubernetes, we are having Prometheus Grafana. We can install Prometheus Grafana by executing one single command. Your Prometheus Grafana will be installed, and you can start monitoring about your resource usage, what container or which container is using how much RAM or memory and CPU. All those things you can monitor it.
Yeah,
Just to
the
get all
Prometheus
the
Grafana
logs.
is a different thing, right? Like we cannot like Kubernetes, we can have UI, right? So can't we check through the
Definitely,
Kubernetes itself?
definitely, definitely. We will be having this Prometheus Grafana option in Kubernetes. We can install Prometheus Grafana in Kubernetes, and it will be giving you its complete dashboard. Like you might already seen somewhere in your EC2 instances or somewhere. Similar type of dashboard will be there for you. If you need or if you want to see, I can install it for you. Okay.
Okay, will this be having the online practice sessions? Like, is there
We will
any platform to
we
practice this?
so we will be creating cluster in VirtualBox or our AWS cloud. Each of you should have free tier account so that you can create a cluster over there. Once you are joining the session, I'll tell you how you can get free resources or free labs environment to practice. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So now, guys, I just want to take one more thing here. Then I just want to bring up here one more thing, why to do this course. why to do this course. We are having certifications with us, right, guys? We are having 3 certificates of Kubernetes is available here. Let me show you, 𝐶NCF.io. Okay, this is the organization. Basically, this is responsible to future releases, bug fixes, patches of Kubernetes. These guys are designing the trainings certification as well. These guys are designing the certificate. Let's talk about these certificates. These are these type of certificates are available for Kubernetes. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 certificates are there. Okay, guys. Now, never to go for this KCNA or KCSA. It doesn't have worth. Okay, if it is MCQs, multi-choice question will be there, and nobody will ask you about this certificate. Okay, if you want to see it practically, just go to the Naukri portal or any job portal and see that what they are hiring. They are hiring for certified people, CKA or CKAD. Now let's discuss about these 3 certificates. So guys, CKAD, let's go here, certified Kubernetes application developer. Okay, it doesn't mean here we are having developer word. It doesn't mean that you'll have to become a developer or you will be start writing some Java or something, Python Perl code. It's not like that. These guys are using a developer word here because you will be most of the time interacting with application deployment. See, application design, build, application deployment, application observability, application maintenance, application environment, configuration, security, service networking. Most of the time you will be taking care of applications, okay, running in Kubernetes cluster. Somebody else will be somebody else will be creating the application. You might be containerizing it, or you might be deploying it in your environment. So this certificate is focusing only on application side. Okay, so that is the reason its name is like that, certified Kubernetes application developer. So guys, what happened to this one? Okay, yeah, certified application developer, right? CKAD is simple shortcut is CKAD. So this is the simplest and easiest certificate in Kubernetes that you can do. And if you are thinking that moreover I am focusing on infrastructure creation, or I am the person, I am having AWS solution architect professional or something, I'm architect guy, so you can or you should go with this certificate, certified Kubernetes administrator, CKA. So what this certificate is running around, let's scroll it down to its domain or its course areas. See that cluster architecture, installation configuration, workload scheduling, service networking, storage, and 30% is troubleshooting. So you should go with this certificate if you are if you have plan to move or to be to become architect. So you should go with this thing. Now, speciality of this course, CKA. Whatever content is already that we seen in CKAD, whatever content we seen in CKAD, those will be covered here. Okay, those will be added here. Now, if you will observe here, this course content that we are going to see here, right? Um, like you know, Hmm. Kubernetes deep dive, this what all core component we are having, cluster. Here we are having deployment of Kubernetes cluster using kubeadm kind. If needed, cops we will be looking into it. One more additional thing. So after that, what exactly pod is, deployment, replication controller, daemon set, and stateful set, volume, services, secret config map, ingress, HPA, scheduling, health check, job, RBAC, all those things we will be covering. So our course content that we will be going through is mix up of the both. After completion of this training, you'll have to spend around 1 month on yourself to practice well, because this certification is it's not MCQ, it's not multi-choice question. There will be the lab, they will be giving it to you during the examination, and they will be telling create the deployment in particular cluster. You might be having multiple cluster at the time. create this deployment by using this configuration. You'll have to create it. Okay. And after that, some another question that, saying that one application is already deployed in particular cluster, and that application is in failed state. Okay, just go and fix the issue. This kind of question will be there. Okay, you'll have to fix the question, you'll have to fix those issues after completion of the exam. Like after 24 hours they will be releasing the result. Its result is not like quickly like MCQs, multi choice question, you are just clicking here and there and your result is getting published immediately, right? It's not like that. Proctor will be with you during the examination. He will be keep monitoring you. You should be on a video camera should be on. If you are going out of the camera, your exam will be paused immediately by the proctor. Okay. And once exam is done, you will be getting your result next day. Okay. And how to appear in this exam, I'll tell you. Linux Foundation. Okay, this is the place. Linux Foundation, see that free course with buy with okay, something is offer is going on, guys. Something companion course, what the hell is this? Something is going on here, so you can check it out. Bogo today, get your Bogo today free course. You can just check it out which course is free, guys. If it is really free, you can book it today itself. Uh, copy the code and anything you can purchase it free, they are telling, but somehow they will be putting some of the offer. So now I'll tell you here, this is the CKA, and I will be suggesting you, if you are doing my training, so go for CKA. See the price here, it's 395 USD. Okay, we don't have any offer, I think, at this point on this course. So what you'll have to do is, don't purchase bundle, guys. Don't purchase bundle is something, they will be telling you, you will be getting some kind of video or some content to learn the thing. I purchased myself, I'm just sharing my uh, thing with you. I purchased the bundle and I got nothing there, nothing useful. It is unnecessary 595. If you are going with only CKA exam, so it will be 395 USD, as we seen here is. So now let's talk about the course, how it runs. Mhm. Exam includes. This is the thing that we'll have to look into it. So I see, proctored exam. We already know that proctored exam, one guy will be there during the examination. Exam duration is 2 hours, but around 2.5, we can count it because half an hour might be they will be checking your government provider ID cards, or like your room or desk, or like you cannot have earphones at the time during the examination. They will be checking complete room on the video conferencing, and no one should be in the room. Certificate validity is 3 years, and once you are purchasing this exam, within 12 months you can appear in this exam anytime. If you are failing in this exam, one retake will be there. If you are failing in retake, means your money got wasted. Okay. PDF certificate and digital badge will be provided you, something like this. I can show you mine. Here I am having CK badge. See, certified Kubernetes administrator. Mine will be getting expired on next year. Okay, 24 it will be going to expire. Like this, you can just check it out. You can click on verify. It will be just checking it something, and it will tell you this is issued and this is something verified kind of thing. And software version that they are going to use Kubernetes is 1.27. And see, again, performance based exam, you will be having exam simulator. Exam simulator is nothing but a kind of dummy exam, and trust me, dummy exam is more difficult than real one. Okay, if you are passing in dummy exam, 100% you will be passing its real exam, because difficulty level is very high here in its simulator. No one will be with you, but just a dummy exam. Twice you can use this dummy exam. Okay, twice you can do this dummy exam, and not more than that. So again, the things that we seen there is, see, course introduction, basic of Kubernetes, installation configuration, cluster architecture, API and access, uh, OPI objects, manage state with deployment, volume data, services we are going to cover. We are going to cover Helm, we are going to cover Ingress, we are going to do scheduling, logging and troubleshooting, manual logging and troubleshooting. We'll be doing that. CRDs, this is one thing they recently added. Security, security is nothing but that network policies implementation. This is what it is. And highly availability, that different type of clusters that we are going to create, and replication controller, replica set, those things is covered here. And something exam review, this is like your in their course outline, like they're giving you something, content will be with that. So here again the same thing. So you can match the certification content. You can appear in, you can choose any one of the exam, CKA or CKAD. I can tell you about CKAD as well. This is the one, CKAD. You can just go here and you can check it, what all things that we are going to do or going to learn here. See, course introduction, Kubernetes architecture, build, design, deployment configuration, understanding security, exposing application, and application troubleshooting. CKAD, this is all about. So most of the course content is same, or like, I'm just saying that 95%, 90 to 95% things will be covered in this training session. And after that, prepare well and appear in the exam if you really want to get a certificate. And I will suggest one more thing: purchase this voucher during some of American holidays. Okay, so what exactly this American holidays are like? Christmas, New Year, something, Good Friday, Black Friday, whatever it is. So at the time, they are running with the offer. See, bundle, they are giving $100 off, save $100 on bundle. So like that, bundle is really not useful. Certificate is useful. You can just, even if you really want to try a bundle, you can try a bundle. You will finding it out nothing there. So yeah, guys, this is all about the course. And we will be starting things from the Docker. Let me introduce you about Docker thing. Okay, why it is jumping like that? All good, guys, till here, right? We discussed about course content, we discussed about the certificate. After completion of the course, you can go for any one of the certificate or both. If you really want to have both the certification, it's good to have. But CK is mandatory. CKA is mandatory. The reason behind CKA is mandatory because we are having one more certificate called CKS, Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. So you need to have CKA completed. They will be checking if you are having active CKA certificate, then only you can appear in this CKS examination. So it is all about security. See again, cluster setup, cluster hardening, system hardening, minimize microservice vulnerability, supply chain security, logging, monitoring, running security check, making your container secure, or just define security context in your deployments or your YAML files, right? Image scanning, Kubebench, and there are many tools are available. So those things will be here, that will be covered here in this one, right? So we are not going to do anything with the CKS, but it's the future. In future, the certificate will be mandatory, and if you really want to get a good hike on your salary packages, then try to do this one. Okay, very soon you will be seeing that Visualpath is having CKS training as well. That will be living by me. So yeah, guys, that is it about the course content and this examination. And let me bring up here another slide. There we will be talking about Docker, what exactly Docker is, why Docker came into the existence. Those things we will be talking about. So let me take it here. Yes, guys.
One question, Anish. Srikanth
Yes,
here.
Shrikant.
One
Yes,
question
Shrikant.
regarding Kubernetes. So you are going to cover the Grafana and Prometheus, right? Also, regarding the login.
Uh-huh. Prometheus Grafana is not there in our content. Prometheus Grafana is not there. Manually we will be looking into it, like how manually to check how much RAM or CPU is allocated to the container and how much they are consuming. Prometheus we don't have. Grafana. We don't have Prometheus Grafana in it. I'm sure. If you need, yeah, I was telling to one of the person in this meeting. I guess I forgot the name. I was telling if you need how to install it, then I can tell you on demand. I can tell you that installation and all, how to do it in our cluster. That's the thing that I was talking about. Yes, Shrikant. Got it? I think you got disconnected or rejoined.
Yeah, hello. Manish, I missed that. Okay, I was facing some network issues. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, we don't have Prometheus Grafana in our course content. If you really want to see the installation of Prometheus Grafana, that I can tell you
Okay.
on demand. Yeah, it's not part of course.
Mm-hmm.
Manually, we will be looking into like how to check CPU and memory utilization of a pod or container.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
the thing.
the thing is, we have a cloud native application, so where our products are installed. So we are using all
Uh-huh.
the AWS resources. Okay,
Yeah,
for our
yeah.
product installations. So
Okay.
there we will be having a Prometheus, Grafana, FluentBit, and Logstash, Kibana as well. Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So all these will be creating through Terraform script.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to know if you are covering that part as well. So regarding the
No, no, no,
logging.
no, 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 not no Terraform, no Prometheus Grafana,
No,
and
Terraform is fine. I understood that. Understood that.
yeah, no
Are you
ELK.
going to
Yeah.
cover any manual things for the this logging purpose as well?
So I'll tell you how it works. Whenever you're talking about a Prometheus Grafana or ELK stack, so we are having plugins. We no need to bother for each of the nodes. See, most of the time in Kubernetes cluster, we will be having multiple nodes, right? You might be worrying about like, I want to install a Prometheus, I want to install Grafana, I want to like, configure ELK stack, then how these things will work. So you no need to bother. In Kubernetes, we are having Helm chart. Helm chart, or even like we are having deployments. Core component of Kubernetes is called deployment. Once you are deploying these things, setup will be done automatically. You no need to put much effort. We are having Helm chart. Through Helm, just you need to run command call Helm install Prometheus, and the repository path where exactly your Prometheus is. Prometheus will be installed. Install the Grafana, and just you need to pass value in Grafana to Prometheus address, how it will be fetching the information. That is the thing that I can tell you
Yes, yes.
when we will be doing Helm chart. During Helm chart, I can show you installation of Prometheus Grafana. You can just quickly execute the command and you can access it from the browser. That we can do that.
Okay. Okay. By the way, we are using the Helm charts as well. Helm charts only
Yeah,
for all these
yeah,
component installation.
correct, correct. What happens is like if we are creating infrastructure in out of Kubernetes, let's talk about non-Kubernetes environments where we are using multiple EC2 instances. So what happens is like each and every instance you'll have to log in, and you'll have to configure node exporters there, right? Node exporter, you need to configure what type of like metrics that you want to get. All those metrics should be just it should go here and there, or you might be using some of like Ansible script to install, configure, or start your node exporters in those nodes. Here we no need to bother, because Kubernetes itself, it will be placing its pod in each and every node of its node exporter. Automatically it will be started shipping off at the time in Kubernetes.
Okay, understood. That is a ready cluster, right? From AWS.
Yeah. So that might, I know that you might worked on such a environment. So you might be worrying that we are not using Ansible, then how multiple nodes are getting its node exporter, right? That's the thing. But here we are having daemon
Yes,
sets. It will be
I want
loading.
to know the manually how the EKS cluster things works. So that is AWS services. That is fine. Everything is ready. We'll just use the
Huh.
services. So if we
Yeah.
have our
So
own infrastructure, okay.
okay, okay.
So I just wanted to know how these things work.
Okay, so whenever you are talking about cloud managed Kubernetes, right? AKS or EKS or GKE. So what
Mm-hmm.
exactly these guys are doing is they are having their own like tool to install and configure from cloud level, and it will be started fetching network. It will be started fetching all the logs for you. Got it? It's
Okay.
their feature functionality. They are enabling it. Cloud people. Yeah, that's the thing.
You are going to cover the manual part as well, right? So that is just ready. We will be just using the template and we'll just creating EKS clusters and we'll be using directly. So if it is our own
EKS,
infrastructure,
yeah, I'll tell you. EKS again, it's on-demand content because we are focusing on mix up of those CKA and CKAD certificate content. If you want to do it through your EKS or AKS or GKE guys, you need to help me out to get your cloud accounts with me. Okay, you need to share, and I can guide you on your own account how you can create EKS cluster. I can do that for you. But again, you can say that highlights that will cause you bills. Okay, EKS
okay.
or AKS or GK. All these three cloud, if you really want to see. So what we'll do is end of the course, just be ready with your cloud accounts. I can guide you how you can create cluster over there. Okay, that I can do for you.
Suppose
Yeah.
just consider I don't have AWS and Google Cloud, so I have my
Huh.
own servers. Okay, separate servers.
Huh.
So
Huh.
in that case,
On premises.
I just
Yeah, yeah.
wanted to know how that works. Yeah.
Okay. So did you remember that here I told you something cluster creation? Where is that? Cluster creation by using 𝐾𝐫 somewhere. Yeah, see that 𝐾𝐫, right? I told you here.
Okay.
So on premises
Okay.
server, if you are having server in your company and your home, like purchase 3 4 nodes, and you can install
Mm-hmm.
software in it. 𝐾𝐫 will be helping you out instead of going and purchasing hardware devices or 3 4 hardware servers in your home or in your office. We are having virtual machine, right? Virtual box. Somewhere I mentioned virtual box as well, right? So you can install a virtual box and you can create a multiple VMs, and I will be telling you, you don't need to bother about that. Yeah, you don't need to bother. See,
Okay. Okay.
virtual box is already mentioned
Thank
here.
you.
I'll be doing that
Okay.
during our session. That's the thing.
Okay. Thank you.
So guys,
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
yeah, okay. Anybody else? Any question queries? Let's take the question queries because it's already 10:30. So yeah, any question queries, guys? Quickly, I need answer quickly from your side, guys.
This is Prakash here. Can you brief about this Helm chart? You introduced one topic, Helm chart. So why it is useful?
Okay. Helm chart is used. The reason is whenever we are creating deployment. So let me show you something here. So guys, whenever we are creating deployment, so we will be creating different Kubernetes objects. Like we might be using pod, correct? Pod.yaml file will be there, and it's a big file. Pod.yaml we might be having deployment.yaml file. We will be having secret secret.yaml we might be having config map.yaml. We might be having so many um, type of Kubernetes object we might be creating in our deployment, right? So I'm just showing you 4 5 YAML files example over here. Now the thing is that whenever you are thinking I just created this all deployment YAML files in my environment, let's say dev environment we created, right? Now we'll have to move it to something QA or somehow prod environment. So you'll have to bring up or take all this YAML files all together. Now that's fine, we can keep it on GitHub, we can call it from different environment. Now the problem is that if I want to do some of the setting based on environment, like in dev environment I want to set up some of the username password different, and somehow some additional arguments or settings I want to pass in QA or prod should have something different, right? So what happens, guys, is take this YAML files manually in different environment. It's complicated thing. If you are missing something, one file got missed, and so it will be troubling you again. You'll have to write the YAML file. So what exactly Helm chart will do is, what exactly Helm chart will do is it will be creating a package of this YAML file. A simple, we can say that tar file. Okay, a tar file will be created for you, like application.tar. I'm just naming it like that. One tar file will be given to you. You can take this package to any one of the environment. Okay, this is the one feature. Okay, you can package the YAML, you can take it to any environment. Now, as I was talking about, like, in dev environment or something, different environment, you need different settings. So no need to open this file again and again and modify it. You can just pass values in values.yaml, one single file, values.yaml. You will be having, you can pass values through that values.yaml file. You can keep that values.yaml inside the package, or you can pass this values.yaml file during helm install command, helm install, or you can pass manually values there, hyphen stat and something, key equals to value. So we will be learning about that, how this thing works, how to do rolling update, rollbacks through this package, through helm chart. Yeah, that will be covered here. And how to helmify application, that we will be looking into it. I hope I answered the question. All right.
Yes, sir, I have got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, I was thinking to start with Docker, guys, but the thing is that already it's 10:30, so I'm keeping it as it is. I'm not starting Docker. Okay, I'm not starting Docker. Whenever we are planning for our first day of the session, next session, so I will be starting Docker from that day itself, from very basic, and slowly we'll be moving to advanced topics. That's it, guys, from my side. If you guys are having any question queries, you can ask me itself. No question queries. Okay, drop your contact details in chat, specifically to Visualpath, Visualpath IT. Please drop your contact details over there, so that they can contact you. So okay, guys, we are ready to close the session. Yeah, bye bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Anish. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.